Why? Tobacco's got great properties, bro.
Like what?
Nicotine. Nicotine's a great drug.
Nicotine is a great drug.
Yeah.
I've heard you say
Stimulating.
that before. I don't know if I was too high, and I agreed with you, but now that I'm in my right mind,
so
I might need you to motivate.
Why do people smoke? Why do people smoke?
Okay, one thing I have heard about nicotine is that it has nootropic effects.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It widens, it makes you feel more awake, it's a de-stressor.
But
that's why you stressed out and you want to go smoke. It's because it calms the shit down and it makes you focus. Nicotine is a great drug. The only problem with nicotine is the sources that we get it in, which is like smoking. So cigarettes have been known to have like terrible things inside of them. But
does nicotine have tar, or does tar have nicotine?
No, nicotine is a chemical found in tobacco. Nicotine, like
THC is found in cannabis.
Exactly.
Okay.
So nicotine is just like a chemical that affects our brains in certain ways. The problem, like I was saying, is like that we smoke the shit, and when cigarette regulations weren't there in the day, they were fucking, you were smoking all types of things, and then the pathogen on your lungs is the problem. This, however, will only cause mild cancer of the mouth, which I hear out of all the cancers is the one you want.
Wow.
I think that's how we introduce our show. Wow. We are LoudSpoken. My name is Shan the Candyman.
Yo, what it do? I'm Uno the dang dude, and together we are LoudSpoken.
Yeah, this is the first time we're doing this with our real name, well, our official name.
Yeah. And
I like it. Uno says I'm loud, naturally, which I am.
You don't think so? Why are you saying Uno says? You must own it. I'm loud.
Because you're the first person to maybe say, I get it, because I do pronounce my words quite loud. But I'm not unbearable. There's some people when you're like, damn, but fucking shut up.
Yeah, no, I think that's where it comes from. Like I was never trying to like, when I discovered that you're loud, I wasn't trying to point out that you're senselessly loud, because that's not.
No, I didn't take it as a negative. I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for you say, this makes you a little bit louder.
Yeah.
And obviously another name for cannabis is.
I actually can't believe how soft-spoken I am as a person.
You are sometimes. Right now you're amazing. I don't know what's going on.
It's because we turned down the music.
No, bro, that's crazy. You're speaking so fucking well. Usually he's like this. I can't speak. You can't hear.
You speak so well.
I didn't say like that. The viewers know.
We might as well start talking about land expropriation.
Shit, I thought you were gonna ease us into this one.
I mean, you took it.
It is quite crazy news at the moment, though. Yeah. Trump even came out with his own little fucking scenario about it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we were so pro-Trump last week.
Yeah.
On our pilot.
Yeah.
And then he came out and just fucking slashed our South Africanness.
Like, oh man, this guy, what the fuck, dog? We've been rooting for you. We even putting it on the internet. How much we rooting for you?
Yeah.
And the first people you try to shit on is us. What the fuck?
And it came out of a little bit out of nowhere. That was the thing for me. Like, I guess obviously it has a lot to do with BRICS and America and South African stance in that.
Yes. But also, if you think about it,
so shots were fired.
If you think about it, like that show trended. I mean, that topic trended. Like at least in South Africa, right? When it was being announced that it was going to be signed, etc. Right? That was a trend, a global trend. And Donald Trump he's a social media savvy individual.
100%.
No, never mind his entire movement, his corporation. They tapped in. They know what to say, what's happening, who to go to, for what, So, like, I just feel like the homie saw it trending, did a surface level excavation, got some feedback also from the people around him, but you can
Elon.
see.
You think he got some feedback from Elon?
Bro, why did our president didn't have to call him and meet him even be like, yo dog, stop talking this shit, what's wrong with you, this shit is not going
I just
on.
think like Elon he's got so much better shit to do than like talk shit about stuff. I do, but
Elon's
a lot of
the
the
prime
stuff
minister now.
a lot of the stuff and there was a lot of like excessiveness by Donald Trump. He is a little bit of a showman. Like a lot of bad things are happening in South Africa right now. The government's corrupt. Like every government's fucking corrupt, number one.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of negative happening right now. We still have a crazy my friend group, you know, that's how much it was trending. My one friend group, which was dead, came alive.
Really?
Bro,
like a literal WhatsApp group?
A WhatsApp group. It came
how many people in the group?
24.
Really?
And it was like people that hadn't spoken to us for like 2 years coming out.
People like you. Like young,
White people.
white.
Are you just white dudes, to be honest. It's just white dudes.
Yeah, not young.
My age and up.
Okay.
So like, and maybe a few years younger, but not like
maximum what? 40?
31 years old
Really?
to 42 years old.
Okay. All right.
And the topic went fucking crazy in the group.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of like also staunch South Africans, like that whole group is, and also a lot of guys that are very much pro-Trump, and they're saying like, listen, there is a lot of bad shit happening. And the one stat that scared me was, how many murders did we have last year? 28,000 murders, right? How many people have been killed in this Israeli-Palestine? 45,000. That's a war, my man. But here in South Africa, it's happening. And that's not, and this is the thing, it's not based off of a race. It's not those numbers. It doesn't say why this is 28,000 people died, you know? So there is a lot of shit happening in SA. So for me, Donald Trump was always going to say this. Like we spoke about a little bit about BRICS and how South Africa's involvement and what America's a big player in the world's economy. So when you start to fuck with their economy, they're not going to be like, okay, well done guys, clap their hands for you and be like, you've done really well for yourself. They're going to fight back. And this is one of the ways I think they are trying to fight back. You know, and we live in the world where politics is dirty. Look how it's for generations. Look how the politics happen in the war, dog.
Yeah. You know, I like the route that you're going down, but I feel like we're talking about what other people are talking about.
Yeah.
About what we want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's like the land expropriation bill.
Yeah.
What actually is it? You get what I'm saying? I think
there's a lot of misunderstanding on that
this is
bill.
what I think as well, you know.
Yeah.
Like how can we best understand it?
So
you know,
I think it's super important this day and age not to read something or view one video and be like, this is the truth. And I feel a lot of people do that.
Yes.
And then they swipe up, and then it's the same video just from a different person, but it's a similar perspective because that's how the algorithm is
and then
working.
they take it as fact.
And then they take it as fact.
Yeah.
So every side of every story, there's two of them. You know, sometimes even three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think if you really did your research and you saw how many times this bill has been tried to be signed in and the drawback from different people, it's not been like a slam dunk for the government to get this right. And even in today's bill, after my research, which is not the fucking university level research, but like after going through
no
different
citations.
Just different professionals' opinions.
Yeah.
What I understand is it's still a long way to go. And the fact that it still goes through the courts is a big thing. And our court system isn't a play around thing. We've got some of the best courts in the world. Like it was just written in 1994. You know what I mean? Like our constitution is third best in the world.
Also, another critical thing is that like. Well, as far as I've understood as well, because it's not Harvard level citations and shit, but like food security will always take priority. You know, so like
100%.
there are a lot of people fear mongering, saying that and the thing is, right, it's a very tricky thing to talk about, because it's not to say. Actually, let me tell you like a very interesting story, just to bring it home, because I was reading this trend on Twitter. People are talking about how their family's land they got dispossessed of their family heritage and land, right? So even like for me, right, like, I'm originally from Zimbabwe.
Was it the guy that got 20 million for his farm and it was supposed to be 200 million?
No.
Do you know the name of the case?
It's just now I'm telling you a personal story.
Oh, personal story.
Yeah,
crazy.
For real.
Fuck.
Like, like I was saying, I'm originally from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
So like.
Oh, it happened to you guys up there.
My mom and her dad and her dad's dad. Right? It's like there's the Bush Wars, the Rhodesian Bush Wars. That shit went on for 15 years, and the natives of the land won. But in the build-up to all of that, like when my mother was born, her grandfather was the captain of the chief of the land. You know what I'm saying? And like by the time she was born, her father had to buy land from the Anglican church.
Crazy.
Because the Anglican church now owned the land. Right? And in the middle of all of that, like my grandfather, who was the chief, was actually murdered, because somebody reported that this guy is working with the white people, so he's not on our side as black people, and boom, they offed him. So it's like when you look at it like that, it's important to understand that firstly, all of this shit is fucking sensitive.
It is, it's to certain people
and it's
like yourself who it's touched. I can imagine it's a completely different topic. And in that case, if you in the bill, that would be positive for you, right? Because you could go, if it was in South Africa, you could be like, no, there's documentation that this land was forcibly taken away from me, and the courts would hear that argument. You know what I mean? I think what I'm going to say the white population scared of and are misinformed is that they think people can just go set up shit, illegal places, and just then claim it as their own. This is mine. That's not going to happen. And I watched.
But would someone be wrong to do that? If they can show you, like, here, for real, their bones
of their
relatives that have gone, and they dig them up and they can show you, like, for real, it really happened here, then it's like, okay, now there's a conversation that must be had. But that's what I'm saying, dog. Like, for me,
then the courts must see, okay, is this land how through debate, and that's what the courts are. It's a debate happening between one party and the other party.
I'm so scared of this chat, even like to have it, because I don't know what is the right thing to say. I don't know what the wrong thing to say is.
I think it is such a big thing, and to have a bill in place and to not have written it in a position where people are so unclear of it is a problem. But if they came out with a bulletproof that everyone's like, oh cool, this makes sense to people, this is how it's going to go down, we will value your farm at the percentage plus, because the money's there. If the money of South Africa was governed correctly and wasn't corrupt like Trump was saying in his thing, which obviously every government, but that's not the point, there would be enough money to pay for that guy's land and say, listen, these people have rights over it long ago, blah blah blah, would you be willing to subdivide, would you be willing to?
So
if they say no, then it must go down the next route.
Do you think people would prefer to be paid off, or they want to be given the land?
It's got to be tough for people. Obviously, some people have set their land up, and they generation on generation have lived on that land as well now. So now you're like, it's a tough topic, and it's difficult for me to understand, because I don't run the risk of them coming to my house and being like, get out your house, I'm living here now. You know what I mean? So I don't live in that fear, and I'm sure farmers.
But I'm sure you got relatives. That
One of my friends sold his farm to something a few years ago. This was in 2011, probably a little bit later. And he had to, like, the rumors were milling around his area of Brits, that this was happening. And it scared him so much that he sold his farm at an urgent sale and missed the money, of actually selling the farm what it was worth.
Market value.
But for him, it was better than getting people coming there and destroying his area, you know what I mean? And what he's built up and what he's developed. Because did you see that video I sent you about those settlers that just took that piece of land?
The latest video that you sent me. No, I haven't seen it.
So it's about a bunch of guys that have basically started setting up an informal settlement on a piece of land that wasn't being used, but obviously it's owned by somebody. And their theory is like they don't have space where they are, so they're using this unoccupied land. And for me that makes sense, but the government, it shouldn't be in the hands of the people though, should it? This job of housing people. So at the end of the day, the government is just like throwing this bill out here to like kind of give the people what they want to hear, but they're not solving the problem, because the problem's still you're going to build an informal settlement.
Sounds like
cool.
a politician.
But you're going to build an informal settlement. It's still not going to have running water. It's still not going to have electricity. So what are the people gaining? I know they're gaining space, and for them they're gaining land.
Peace of mind, maybe.
The government's not coming there with fucking pieces of paper and saying, "Here's your land now. You own this piece of land." They're not doing that. So, fuck, bro. Yeah, this thing's strong. Shout out. We're in a different location of Hydro, as you can see, but we're still at Hydro Cafe. Shout out to Andre. Andre, they can turn up the music a little bit. I hear like now Uno's struggling to speak, so they can turn the music up a little bit. Yeah.
So let me ask you.
See how smooth that transition was now, though.
Yeah. Practice. Like I need to improve. Yeah. So let me ask you, Doug. Let me ask you how. I know how you feel about the actual action, which we will delve it. I give my heart goes out to you. I don't want to do the action myself. Yeah. Because people are gonna suggest that I might be a Nazi. But we'll call it my heart goes out to you. Is the outrage justified? Do you think?
So what we're talking about.
Okay, no, let me.
Must I not talk about it?
Let me make it interesting for you. Let me make it more.
Did it upset me? No.
No. The outrage.
Was it justified?
The outrage between Kanye's wife at the Grammys versus Elon Musk.
I didn't get the lip reading part. I didn't hear what Kanye said. So I know he said something to cause a little bit of things with his wife, but Elon Musk.
Okay, we'll get there.
I think the outrage shown towards him was a little bit
outrageous.
Yeah, unnecessary, because the guy's autistic as fuck. You saw it there, bro. That guy was thinking it was his own. He won.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like, he was dancing. It was mental, bro. Like, shout out to the guy. Like, I hear you want to make change in
your... Dog, I saw that guy turning around and looking at the flag.
Bro.
It's like, fuck the people now. My heart goes out. I'm like, yo, this is not a South African anymore.
No, definitely not.
This guy loves this place.
He loves it, dude. No, he loves it. But obviously he would love it. He's made his billions there, dude. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you love the place that's made you who you are?
He made himself a prime minister, executive prime minister.
Doge is going to fly now.
Yeah.
I need something to open this. Do you have a lighter?
It's actually unbelievable. I don't.
Anyways.
I don't. No, it's actually unbelievable. No, the outrage is unbelievable, dog. Because like, fuck. If you're watching that thing, if you're watching it, you can see that this guy, he's literally saying my heart goes out
to my people, yeah. 100%.
And you can see the emphasis. You can look at his
Did you hear what he
face.
said right before that?
What?
He said, to all my people.
Yeah.
You know, like his words were not like to my white folk, you know.
So I'm also me. One of these groups came alive.
Ew.
That's the perfect way. I'm in one of these groups. They like to call it social and political debate. Shout out to the social and political debate. I'm in such groups. I love conversation and perspectives. I don't always contribute, but I like to read.
Yeah.
But that one I contributed.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, oh guys, did you see this one? This racist. I'm like, racist? Oh, come on, guys.
So I went down on, obviously when this happened, I went straight to X.
Yeah.
Just to see. And the white supremacists obviously do use that. Like in America, it was taken over by them. Obviously, they were like neo-traditional Nazis after the Nazis happened. But I also put a lot of fact of it's actually a Roman salute. Like if you go back down in the day, and then lots of people, I commented this, my man. God. Oh, and Roman people were also so great, hey? Do you know what happened in the Roman Empire? I was like, Mom, it's to show like unity and power, and like the meaning that he was doing it was definitely not intended to show respect to any organization.
I feel like.
And did you see that other? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton was doing that. Fucking Barack Obama has been videoed that. They've all been videoed doing it. You know, but just because Trump, the Republican with Elon Musk, was on the stage now.
Elon Musk, the richest person in the world.
Yeah.
You know, because what I'm saying is that, they're just always looking for a reason to hate.
Yeah, true. But I can see Donald Trump, a little bit of the white supremacy in him. I can see it. But with Elon, he's never shown signs of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way he speaks, the way he speaks to people.
And that's all I said to the peeps in the group. I was like, guys, okay, fine, I get it. Maybe today he decided he's going to be racist. Let's look at the history. Let's look at the data. No, never mind the history. I'm like, man, you can't accuse a person of something like that if they don't exhibit that habit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I fully agree with you.
Yeah, so like I don't know. And
so for me,
and the crazy thing is that I don't even find myself to be a supreme Elon Musk fanatic. I'm just standing up for someone who's like, okay, you guys are getting this guy
I don't give a
fucked up.
fuck about either of them.
I'm like, nah, you guys are getting this fucked up, man. This guy doesn't. He's not on that time.
Bro, and Trikus wore a pro-Trump shirt on the press conference. It said Trump prefers champions. My dog.
Did it go crazy?
It went. No, obviously now like people on his comment like, I can't believe you support Trump. I was your biggest fan.
Oh,
now,
really?
yeah, like I can't.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Like worldwide fans.
I know who's doing Trikus' PR, and I know he doesn't give a fuck anyways. You know, that's just the type of person he's not here to. He's here to prove himself as a UFC champion, not as a politician or anything like that. And he's also young like us.
The PR dude.
No, Trikus and the PR dude. But Trikus controls his own socials, and you know, I don't think somebody's telling him what to wear.
Yeah.
I think he saw that shirt in the shop and he was like, I want that. Or he made that shirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can't confirm or deny.
But it keeps you in the topic. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that's exactly where I was going. And for as long as you are in the conversation, you are worth something.
Yeah, 100%.
Without even having to do anything.
This weekend, gonna take down that American once again.
Is it for the title?
He's got the title, so the American's challenging him, Sean, who he took the title off of.
Two wins ago.
Yeah, so the big thing was it was a decision. And the Americans were obviously being American and said, no, Sean won. And then obviously the people that watched the fight.
This is a rematch.
It's a rematch.
For this dude.
Yeah, as a big fight. Happening 7:30 in the morning.
Is it bigger than the other two?
I think Adesanya was a big one because of the racial comments between the two.
Really?
Yeah.
It did get there.
It did because...
What did he say?
Well, Adesanya called Trikus the N-word, like live.
Adesanya
called Trikus the N-word multiple times in the ring.
Why should he be offended by that?
Who? Triggers? No, he wasn't offended, but that was the start of like the race war went back and forth. Triggers also said something like he's not a true African because he moved to Australia, blah
That's
blah.
crazy. Wow.
He didn't say. I misspoke now. He said that he would become the first true African champ. Okay. And Adesanya is obviously an African.
And Trump prefers champions.
Yeah, but Adesanya is obviously, and Adesanya, Usman, and Francis Ngannou were all Africans. But Triggers was saying he's the only African champ that's training in Africa. Then Adesanya took that obviously very badly, blah blah blah. I'm not African, you're in fucking Dutchman, you inhibited fucking our land, and so it was back and forth. They squashed that beef at the end. That was what was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they both respect each other now.
Okay.
They squashed the
true
beef.
champions.
Yeah, Triggers hugged his mom afterwards. You know, it was like because Triggers is obviously also fucking a human growing up in South Africa.
He's seen a lot, been through a lot.
Yeah, we've been through a lot, and we are integrated. Like,
for sure.
Fuck it, geez, we live in South Africa, you know.
It's a rainbow nation.
Yeah, it's a rainbow nation. He fights. Who do you think his training partners are?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're the real Africans.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the ones coming from like Congo. I'm just talking about DRC,
They're
Congo. That's coming to South Africa to get a chance to be seen on the international stage.
Yeah.
But they're the real fucking, like, as much as Triggers is African, those guys are real fucking
they're
African.
cooking.
But Triggers was just saying that Israel and them aren't abiding African champs because they fight out of different countries' gyms and have gone through their styles of coaching. This is an African fucking coached by another African. You know what I mean?
I see.
That's what Triggers was saying. When he brings the belt home, it's staying in Pretoria. It's not staying in Sydney or in America with like Usman and them. Not to say that they're not African. That was the.
Yeah.
Racial things is a hot topic now, and it's crazy to me. 2025 and
it's Trump. Trump effect.
Dude, it was even before Trump, in the Biden era, in the fucking Barack era, in the...
Nah, dog. You need to understand Donald Trump just killed wokeness.
Yeah, it's great. That's why I'm the pro-Trump fan.
Yeah.
Fuck woke. Fuck the woke culture, bro.
Yeah, dog. Like
to be woke is cool, but to think it's a culture is a problem. To be aware is...
Exactly, is aware. I agree. Like being woke, I find being woke to mean, in a very negative way, hypersensitive. You know, just looking for offense in instances where
I think the woke nation made it like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it's part of their culture.
But if you were, the problem was when you become too woke, and then you become the victim at every single turn, or you want to support the victim, the so-called victims. You know what I mean? No, you got to give them rights. No, you don't have to give them those rights because those rights don't exist.
Yeah.
You can't go into the male bathroom. You can't go into the female fucking bathroom if you're a dude, my man.
How many things did he sign? Executive orders? Over 100.
He signed in the sports, the woman one. I saw that picture with all the girls.
And the military one.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that.
And I saw they banned Pride Month. There's no more Pride Month or somebody, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone. Scrapped off the calendar. Which, also, a month is long time, bro. But the one thing that gets me is this one clip about, like, do you know when's the Veteran Day? And no one could answer. The veterans that killed by the millions to fight what you are having right now. But you don't have a month for them, but you have a whole month to celebrate this made up position of people that are the minority. No, you're deciding to be in that group, my man. Of course you're going to be the minority because you want to be different.
Yeah. And I saw another one.
I'm also not saying that you shouldn't be different. That's why I said I was woke before. Like, be who you want to be. I don't give a fuck. Just don't enforce it like they were enforcing it onto us.
Yeah.
And making us change certain things and make certain other things priorities. That's fucked up.
Yeah. You know, there's one other executive order that I saw a very cool reaction to. that Donald Trump signed, which was the cutting off of aid for a couple of days.
Well, that's what got this whole Ramaphosa thing fired up.
Yeah, but there was one particular reaction that I saw from Uganda, and this girl was like, lady, I'm sure some respect, this lady, she was like, though she is kind of cute. In a complimentary way, not in a perverted way, So like, she's explaining that, and it's to me it's like very quick minutes. She's like, okay, fine, guys. Yes, Trump is cutting the moolah. He's cutting the free money. Okay, cool. Now what? You want to cry about it? If you're crying about that free moolah, firstly, you're probably one of the beneficiaries of it, mostly through corruption, not necessarily to all the causes that it goes to, right? Now, but even if it goes to your particular cause, then it's like, fuck, it's not affecting everybody the way it should be, because it's trickling down. So her whole argument is like, we're acting like junkies to American money. All these people complaining about Africa, how we're gonna cope without US aid. It's like, guys, okay, maybe the hour is now that we start figuring it out for ourselves. Like in West Africa, Ibrahim Traore, like that gentleman is cooking.
He's cooking, dog.
You get what I'm saying?
And he's
like,
young.
I look at it, I was like, is he 36 years old?
He's fucking young, yeah.
Like,
did you see his presidential photo?
Let's verify it. I don't want to lie to our viewers.
I think he could be. He looks hardcore. He's like in this like army outfit type of vibe, very hardcore.
Yeah.
But that just shows you, bro, when the people stop fucking complaining and stop nagging that everything's unfair and just do the shit. They can do the shit.
That's what she was saying. That's what she was saying.
Yeah, fuck.
And like,
people like to complain though. It's easy to be a victim. It's too easy to be the victim. And in South Africa, we love the victim card, my brother. We love it.
Now, you know what I think, though? I think everybody needs to try and go and live somewhere else.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know why? Because you don't live where you are to go somewhere else and not be inspired to make something of yourself. And like a lot of people, to victim blame, and it's deep, because some people, I don't want to make excuses for them, but some people just struggle mentally with that. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is like, okay, cool. Maybe the situation is that they're not necessarily victims, but it's quite hard to get moolah out here.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
And without but then it all stems back down to like there is money in this country, and how is our government working right now to give jobs to the people? Now I don't think very hard. You know what I mean? And I don't want to always blame. I sound like such a fucking typical white tunny. Blame the government. The government's the reason. And the people, like entrepreneurs and youngsters, like I'm checking, we're in student areas, and you're seeing the guys that are starting businesses. They're youngsters, and they will make the impact in their communities, and that will reach greater and greater. And I do believe we are becoming, as a generation, and I hate to say this word right now, we are becoming a little bit more woke to the situation of like, it's unfair to certain, so we've got to make certain changes, and we've got to be the change in our communities. That's amazing, and it's happening right now. You see South African entrepreneurs always giving back. So there was a big one. Stain died last night.
Yeah, Joe Stain.
Yeah, and also once again, Twitter's crazy about this.
Crazy.
Did you see? people were going, it's good. One of the racists is now rich, racist white men is dead.
Someone said
my man, the community stood back for him. They're like, you don't understand what he's done for our community.
Yeah.
How he's given us over 26,000 jobs in one company.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the people were standing up like, this man was not a racist.
I also heard they were saying, like him, he was a person who really put South Africa first.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? Even Raymond Ackerman with Pick and Pay, apparently Pick and Pay doesn't employ people from other countries.
They don't? Oh, that's fucking kudos to them, bro.
I was like, as a person from another country, it's great that there are some places like that. Anyway, it's good that is your bro. Like that's I hate that everything takes us back to Trump. More than anything, that's what I agree with him about. It's like let's uplift my people.
Yeah.
And my people. That guy. I don't really think Trump could be a racist. Because like even like a true leader of a country, dog.
But I don't think he's a racist. I don't think so.
Yeah,
but I think he's definitely puts his race above any other race.
His race as a white person.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Donald Trump's race is American.
That could be very true.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump's race is American.
Let's leave it with that one. Yeah, he's a racist to any other country.
What did he say? What was his quote? He said they checked his blood and they found it wasn't DNA. It was RSA. USA. He is the originator of that. Bro, come on.
Make America great again. Go down Donald Trump. That's why I like him.
Come on. Another thing people were saying is like, this guy was in office for like, 2 minutes. He's signing 100 orders. How long has Cyril been there? How many orders this guy signed?
He signed the cannabis one 4 years later. That's how long it took.
Was he smoking? What was going on?
He does smoke. He's got a very big farm in Sanim.
On Pala Pala.
No. I went to Pala Pala, hey?
Really?
I sold a coffee machine to them once in my way back when. And it's a beautiful place, bro.
That's crazy.
My word. Thank you, Joe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's unreal how much money. Yeah. You can just see like to tar road in a farm. It's crazy.
Really?
Bro, the guy had like,
that's crazy.
The chalets were like individual houses, and there was just scattered all over the place. It looked like a dining room, but it was like a dining hall. It was crazy. You could do weddings there. This guy was making money.
So it's a venue.
It was a venue. It was like a legitimate business, and that's where the whole shit came out, and where he was sweeping money under the rug there. But I guess rich people have a lot more money than they obviously disclaim. That's why they're fucking rich.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
I can't believe he survived that, and a lot of people are saying that his future depends.
I think he's let me down. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I liked him as coming in as president. I was like, sick, smart businessman. He's gonna make the right decisions. And I think he's just puppeted around a bit too much.
So I went and I heard Cyril speak one day at the Chamber of Black Miners or Engineers. I don't remember. Something technical like that. Oh, it couldn't be accountants. But it's crazy because I went there to perform a poem. That was the first time I ever got paid to perform. It was crazy.
Before fucking Cyril Ramaphosa?
Yeah.
You were on the same mic.
Saying
the poem.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. That should be on your CV.
I should put it.
Yeah.
That was my first.
Shared the mic with. Shared the comedy stage with Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yeah, and they enjoyed my poem.
Nice. Oh yeah, it was a poem.
And I gave him one as well.
Nice.
I was like, take this, but he had his like. I actually have a picture. I'll send it to you.
Nice. You should put that on your fucking Instagram, bro. That should be pinned.
I have a picture with him.
Yeah, that's
what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. Pin
I was looking like a Harvard graduate. But anyway,
that's so cool.
What I was saying what I was saying. Oh yeah, I finally have a story to match your World Cup story.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's good enough.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so
That's
I
pretty
was
cool.
I was there, and the guy was really like talking and engaging the community or whatever, leaders of their businesses. I was gonna say leaders of the industry, but like the thing is, his conversation was about becoming a captain in your industry. And then like you do some research about the origin of some of these guys' businesses and how they actually really came out. A lot of these guys were given the keys to somebody else's house and told, okay, you'll get a cut.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's like difficult to understand him today as even a captain of an industry, because what innovations and like pioneering stuff has he actually done in his history as an entrepreneur?
That's a valid point. Besides make money, but he was gifted a lot of it. Yeah.
I mean, to be told the master builder for
hear you.
For McD's, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Like, you mean to tell me just
No.
that contract alone?
Yeah. No, that set you for life, doc.
You can even dream
Because you
and
know the
come up with
McDonald's
bad
recipe.
ideas. Yeah.
They buy the land.
Yes.
So that's the actual, like the portfolio
business.
worth is also not you renting that spot and how much turnover you're making. It's a turnover plus that piece of property. And where do McDonald's pop up?
Where it's popping.
Yeah. Obviously they don't buy the spots in the malls, they rent those ones.
Yeah.
But like that's why the one in Menlyn closed and then opened up across the road.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fucking had bought that little piece of land, and do you know how much that little land's gonna cost in 10 years time?
That's crazy.
More than that business would ever generate.
Yeah.
Clean.
Speaking about generating money, what did you think
damn.
about
Load shedding.
yo, what the fuck?
Like over the weekend again, dog.
Even though you know
How they announced it was
yo,
fucking-
dog, there's a lot of shit around that shit. That was fucking funny. You know, the first part that fucking killed me is I was watching online.
Sorry, now I ruined your topic.
Yeah, but no, I was done.
Okay.
I was just saying essentially that he's not a captain of industry, so we shouldn't follow his example to be like of greatness for leadership in entrepreneurship.
No, right now I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't follow anything he's doing.
That's what I was
think.
going to.
And I think
So that's why that's what makes Donald Trump a bit better, because Donald Trump he took a small loan of $1 million from his dad and he flipped it into becoming the president of the
that's crazy, bro.
United States.
It just shows you. Just shows you, bro. Whatever you set your mind to. This guy.
Nah.
Did you watch the Joe Rogan with him? He speaks
I
about
did.
it like
I
a little
did.
bit, like.
Yeah.
And then he decided that he was going to do it. Like, it doesn't matter you decide, but he had the craziest amount of pull, and it was coming off of bad PR.
Yeah.
You know, it was that whole time. Like, it wasn't great PR that Trump was coming into the presidency with.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like a bunch of PR. And
Yes,
took
but
that
that's
wave.
what they say, that there's no such thing as bad
PR,
publicity.
yeah. He took that way.
You know what I'm saying?
He spoke to the he spoke to the people that wanted to listen to like his garbage. It worked.
At this point, that boy needs to send us some MAGA hats, man.
Yeah. I've got the Trump hat. I wanted to wear it today. I
Really?
should have worn it. I just didn't know how the people would feel. Yeah, it says Trump Vance, make America great again.
Oh no, but I need Trump prefers champion.
Oh, that's a good one.
If Drickus makes those, you need to get
Bro.
that. Oh, that
was a good one.
Yeah. So anyway, the ESCOM thing, dog.
Dropping us a bombshell.
So I'm listening on the radio. Yes, that's where I was listening, and they're like, yeah. So the regulator of what has decided that they're gonna cut down the price hikes of the electricity from ESCOM's proposed. I'm like, but you're still putting it up.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem that we have.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that the same week you're making that announcement, the power starts wiling out on the shedding. come on, dog, come on, like.
But at least it was only those 2 days. I think South Africa would have had like a hissy fit if it was longer than those 2 days. Even the 2 days, Eskom's push was going crazy.
I'm in trauma now. No, bro, they posted the Undertaker. You know when Undertaker comes out there? Oh my God.
Fucking shout out to ESP right there. You guys are good. Yeah.
Whoever's running that social media.
Bro, how? You know their reasoning behind that was they have to do repairs, or there's too much load going on and they didn't do the repairs. So what the hell were you doing? What did they do? Like, cool, like fix the shit, make plans so that people don't suffer, because there's families. You know what happens? The fuck up is it's like there's still like families in Diepsloot and various regions that haven't had power for like 2 months. Because load shedding came and it tripped the substation, and now they can't find the cable or whatever the reason may be. And those people must send their kids. I was watching the news. They send their kids with their cell phone to work, and then they get their cell phone back after work so that they at least have power on the torch. So fuck, no man, Eskom can't raise the prices. Get your shit together. Supply electricity. Provide the service that we are paying for half of the time. Because shit, like why would I want to pay for my electricity fees or my tariffs when I'm load shedding for 8 hours, 12 hours a day? I'm not even getting my basic service, and they think that's shop for a country to deal with. No, that made me edge towards being in that like fuck this country vibe, you know, because it was getting to that stage when we were in stage 6, like how can we operate a business? You know, you're losing money to keep the lights on, and then we still have to pay the people, the staff, the same amount of money, but you're making a hell of a lot less. So fuck, crazy. Load shedding, thank God that they stopped that.
Yeah, no, but we're still in trauma. I'm thinking every day, dog.
You can hear me, bro. My heart rate went up.
Every day.
Shit.
So, did you check anything about the Grammys?
I saw a little bit of the Kanye dropping in unannounced without a ticket. I thought that was cool. I really
thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool. Like that's it. God damn! Look at that guy. Must be his birthday.
He's balling out.
He's coming in here with 4 fucking children. Is that Carlos?
Yeah.
God damn, he's doing well over there.
Must be crypto.
It's in a dip right now, so definitely not crypto, unless he's trader.
Unless it's a trader. You know, the traders always got moved.
So yeah, they always making money. That's a skill I would love to. I'm trying to learn.
So you know what I found most fascinating about the Grammys? Okay, yeah.
What happened with Kanye and that? You know, I know you in deep.
Oh wow.
You're a Ye fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Ye fan. I'm a Ye fan. He called us out. It's like, if you're a fan of Ye, you're gonna call me Ye. You won't call me Kanye.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, got you.
Ye.
Heard you. So anyway, I don't know the story of him being barred from the Grammys. Like, I actually, like, I'm not too tapped in. You know, all I wanted to know is like who won best rap, etc. It's the shit that I care about.
Drake got humbled.
Yeah, and you're saying it like that because Kendrick got a song called Humble.
I'm just so tapped in, dog.
That's what he said. I was like, yeah, it was a sweep, bro. 5 Grammys from one song. Like, that is crazy. And a lot of people are questioning, like, the validity of that. It's like, is that a hype machine at work, or is that like, is it valid? But that song held us down, bro, for a long time. I was watching some old videos.
Do you think as being a who are you on team, Drake or Kendrick? Who were you on during the diss track era?
I have to say, you know, you're asking me honestly and fairly, I was more on Kendrick's side.
So do you think that song was justified as a song, being in the news and how much attention it got on social media? Because that's also got to count, you know, when you're talking about like, that song was hot on the lips. So do you think it was justified to win?
Yeah.
Where we have it?
I think it's a good song.
You heard it first.
Yeah. I think it's a good song. 5 Grammys.
It's a lot. So you think maybe 2 Grammys?
Yeah, two are scanned. Two are scammies. Straight up. Yeah, no.
That's
I think
very valid.
I think that's a very fair way to put it. You know,
Okay, but hype
and
obviously
I'm not
means
denying
something.
the boy cooked. Don't get me wrong.
He
It's
did
just
do
like,
good.
come on, guys. Like, what?
I must admit.
But you know what I found interesting about the Grammys?
Tell me.
Is that Song of the Year went to Kendrick. Artist of the Year went to this other lady, Natasha.
Natasha.
Her name is Natasha. And
Song of the year. No, artist of the year. Yeah.
And
what genre
album
was she?
of the year. I didn't go that deep. Natasha Toad or something like that. And album of the year was Beyonce.
Oh, the country one.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, how can album of the year not come from artist of the year and not have the song of the year from
I
them?
think obviously
Like,
the judging criteria, the Grammy's been around for a long time, bro, and I think it's probably adopted from some system and some metrics like how many times was it
I saw
downloaded, how many blah blah
interesting-
blah.
Another piece of information 1 year ago.
Because there is a panel. I know there's a panel.
I saw an interesting statistic.
Yeah.
A piece of information. 1 year ago, Jay-Z was on stage. Exactly 1 year ago, he was on stage saying, Beyonce got all these Grammys, she never won Grammy of the year. I mean, album of the year. And then like a year later, she's doing it, and it's like, okay, what the
And it
fuck?
was a country album. So
What about
crazy
Jay-Z?
statement. Yeah.
What about Jay-Z? And his no.
Did you
shit is
hear
happening
Jay-Z
fast.
and Nicki Minaj are the same person? Have you heard that one? When you slow down Nicki Minaj's voice, it's Jay-Z just singing. I'm gonna send it to you after this. You gotta listen to it. And I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Let's go into confessions.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Did you see? I sent you some screenshots. I don't know if it's the best ones.
Hey, that's right up there next to the conspiracy of 50 Cent shooting himself. Have you heard that one?
No way.
You never heard that
To
one.
shoot yourself so many times.
Yeah.
There's not a fun. I think once
to
you shoot
become-
yourself
to
once, you're
become-
like, that was
to
a
become
bad idea.
famous.
No.
I mean, 9 times.
I loved that movie of his.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah. I was a big 50 Cent fan when I was younger though.
Wait, let me see if Ice Cream grabbed a few, cause
Did you read mine and you were just disappointed in it?
wait. I thought you were gonna pick from there.
I did. I picked them. I picked so many.
Yeah, I found one.
Okay.
Okay, but you can.
No, I wanna. You usually pick the.
Now this one is a little bit crazy.
Okay.
My mom passed away years ago, and my dad never told
I
us
also screenshotted this
about him meeting anyone since. However, I have seen disgusting messages between him and his secretary. She's about 30 and he's almost 60.
Shout out to him.
Multiple times. Am I wrong for being absolutely disgusted and hating for it? Hating him for it.
Yeah. I want you to answer because I'll tell this chick. I told her in the
told her.
comments. I told her my point of view. I was like, you need to sit yourself in front of a mirror and reflect about what you just said.
Yeah.
Because that's so dumb. What must he do? Live life alone and sad? We spoke about this topic because you have an interesting perspective on relationships and stuff. So we did speak about like some people even wanting multiple wives or loving multiple people at the same time. That's happened. We can't. You can't think that this guy's just going to sit there and mope around for the rest of his life. Even if the problem is maybe if it was 3 months after a death, you could be a little bit shocked and maybe a little bit disgusted, maybe even in the same year. You know, but then how about if somebody comes like somebody that you met that consoles you during that tough time, and you form an attraction and a love to that person.
So does the degree of disgust in the messages count? Like if she's saying things like
Is her dad sending dick pics? Is that what's making it disgusting?
Or maybe she's
That may be the thing.
She's sending him nudes. Oh yeah. Even him sending.
Okay,
dick
so
pics
I
and
want to
stuff.
know this chick. Did she never not have a boyfriend and send her nudes when you were away or something like this? That's like a common thing these
Maybe
days.
she's bitter that her dad is getting more than she
Maybe
is.
it's true. Or maybe maybe the secretary's fucking fine as hell.
Yeah.
And she's feeling jealous.
Maybe.
It could also be a very young chick. You know, because confessions could be 16. You don't know the ages of the person.
That's what I wanted to say. How old is she?
That's a good point. Like, I hope under the age of 16 or 18. At least 18 and below. That would justify this comment.
Yeah.
Not justify it, but it would make more sense why she's angry. But if you are somebody that's 20 and above and have been in a relationship and then gone out of the relationship and then seen how easy it is to find the next person. You know what I mean? You find it every time, kind of. Your mom says it when you break up. There's so many fish in the sea, my young boy.
Yeah.
It's damn straight.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, this man found him a fucking catch, sending him nudes.
Yeah.
She's 30 years younger than the dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's winning life.
Yeah.
Shout out to this guy. Props to you, unks.
Yeah.
Doing it right.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean, plus if it's a younger person, you know.
Well, you asked me this question. Do you think this is a white
I'm
or
glad
a
you
black
put it out. I'm glad you put it out.
Because I definitely feel white.
Really?
No, 100%. This is a white thing. This is a white chick. I'm hoping 18.
Nah, motivate.
No, motivate just because I can hear a white chick saying it in my head. Like that's like when I heard this statement, I was like, this is a person that doesn't understand fucking death very well.
Me, I think it's a black girl also.
God damn, you always go with this one.
Yeah, I have to. And it's not because I don't like them, I love them. It's just that I understand that. No, like when I read that message, I hear some.
Black girls send naked pictures? I don't know. Do they? Cool.
Yes, they
Good to
do.
know.
They do.
Have you ever sent a picture?
No. Have I?
I'm sure you have. He's lying. He's lying to the viewers.
I hope not. I won't lie. I'm capable of it, but I hope I haven't done it. I hope. And if you got it, please.
Yeah, don't send it out.
Frame it.
Yes. Fuck.
Yeah. So I think it's a black girl who is struggling it with in a more traditional context. You know, like first of all, like he still needs time to grieve. You know.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But that's valid.
Yeah. And also his age. Oh, he's too old to be getting pussy. Man, I've
60s
seen.
is the best time of your life.
Earlier today, we were coming from. We didn't go to the strip club. There's a strip club next door. There were people there in broad daylight. Before I came here, that's where I was like, what the fuck? But it was just the venue next
Just
door.
imagine how nice it must be. You've been working your whole life, dog. And then you're 60.
I'm saying that to say that's what white people are doing during the day.
I think
It's so normal that white people are doing PDA, you know, like but but I'm saying like that girl is shocked because firstly she never saw her dad doing that with her mom. Then this guy found a young thing who's hip with the times.
white or black, she's still in the wrong. That's at the end of the day, she's still wrong, dude.
Yeah, she's wrong if
Let the man be.
she's under 16.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, what's yours? What's your confession? Oh yeah, what's our advice for her?
What's your advice? I told you. We just told you. You're being ludicrous. People, there's too many fish in the sea.
So she just needs to stop it.
She just needs to stop it, love her dad with the time that he's got left, how long that is.
Tell him that she's aware and she's happy for him.
This is a big topic at the moment, though. There's a lot of unemployment popped up on Confessions. I don't know if you saw that.
I did notice that.
Yeah, recently.
I was a bit touched.
Yeah, because it's a big
for
stat. Like the unemployment rate in South Africa is a certain percentage, but the unemployment rate percentage of 18 to 35 is higher, much higher than that. So it means that the youth are the problem to that unemployment rate, which is a big issue.
Yeah.
So I don't really. We've had such deep topics today. I don't really want to talk about that.
Okay. How about dog? It's a deep time, bro. It's a deep time.
It is a deep time of the world.
Deep time.
But we need to make a little bit of laughter because that's what this podcast is also about.
Yeah. No, you know what I found funny. I have to tell you, Kanye's wife. Did you see her outfit?
Yo, crazy.
I think that's exactly how it went viral. Do you know how it went more viral than the Grammys?
Oh, really?
Her outfit at the Grammys went
Crazy.
more viral.
It was a crazy outfit. She was basically naked. She makes you zoom in like 14 times.
Did you do that?
No, I'm just saying.
You don't have to confirm.
I'm very good at comedic inputs.
Okay.
Could have been maybe less.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, wow. You know, a lot of people have been talking about if he loves his wife, he won't let her do that. I'm like, okay, but what if she's the one fighting him to do it?
True. I really don't mind what people wear.
You mean to tell me she saw it's provocative,
It's
dog.
provocative,
That is
but
provocative.
that's exactly what they wanted, bro. I think that's exactly what they wanted. Now she's a talking town. Gay's on the list again. You know what I mean? Well done. Woo-hoo.
Everyone's buying that dress.
Bro,
Everyone is buying that dress.
can imagine. Every
It's
bitch
for
in Miami is going to be wearing.
They thought
How much is
about
it?
I don't know. Let's look for it.
That's crazy. Fucking. You think Gay's still alive and this is not a clone? Or
No, it's still him.
it's still him.
It's still him.
Shit. We've got
Maybe there's another
storytellers tonight.
reason.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Storytellers, if you don't know what it is, Culture and High Grow. We put up 4 artists every single month, new artists telling their story about their musical journey, how they created a song. It's really quite an intimate evening where you get to really know the artist and the thought pattern behind how his art was created through his story.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. That's every beginning of the month.
And these artists are good.
These artists are good.
Yeah.
You say that every time though.
Yeah, because they are a lot, but yeah, you know, not a lot of them are good.
And
Can
then,
I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You know what? One thing I like about you is you're a young entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
I really like that. Maybe that's why we get along, because we're just young people out here trying to follow our passion,
Yeah.
and make money while we're at it. Dog,
Money make the world go round.
how do artists make money?
Sure. Right now, I guess that chick's driving the wrong way around. I guess as artists now, you've got to move over to the new platforms because a lot of shit's free and blah blah blah. So you've got to up your streams, you know, because that's how people are making their money. The more streams you get, the more likelihood of you selling your tickets when you're going out to events and you're selling out arenas, becoming relevant. Also a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
I think that's
So these homies confronted me, bro. They confronted me. They're like, yeah, you really shouldn't be asking artists to sell tickets.
oh, but it's part of their business, isn't it?
I was like, okay, so who must sell the tickets? And like,
Do these artists have managers? Because then their managers should be selling.
You're asking
The
right.
managers should be selling the tickets, not them. I get it, but if you don't have a manager, my brother, you're
going crazy.
You're your own manager.
Yeah.
That's like fucking. That's a ludicrous statement. It's like it's like somebody saying, "Oh no, I'm a cashier, but I'm not going to scan these items." It's your job, dude. You're scanning those items. Like that's how you're going to make money. If you don't want to make money, if you don't want to scan the items, please remove yourself from your seat. So
Are you even a cashier?
yeah, like bro, it's such a South African statement for me that like those were South African people that came up to you and said, no, we want
You
everything
killed
handed
me.
to us.
You
Please
just
handle,
killed me.
do
dog.
everything for me.
Just killed me because that is it. It's like I asked the homie the same question, like, man, where's your man?
Yeah.
Clearly you don't have the mind for this
Yeah.
conversation. You just go back to the studio.
The whole premise of storytellers is every single artist obviously does their own marketing. The sad thing was these artists, they didn't come in and do any pre-marketing, which we offered it to them, which is not the point, but it just gives them the idea of how it would work to run your business.
Yeah.
How to sell
to
tickets.
have a bit of PR.
Yeah. Come out, hook up a homie to hold a camera for you, to shout out that you're doing these types of things coming up. That's how you got to push yourself, and that's what your manager does do when you have the potential, when you have the opportunity to get a manager. That's the thing, like you've got to put yourself out there, and if you don't do the work, nothing's going to fall into your lap. There's artists where Jelly Roll, have you heard him? That
Yes,
American
I
dude?
have, yeah.
Dude, that guy was busking. It's not like he just sang one cool song and made it. The man was fucking living his life as a fucking poor ass artist. And then he took the time to listen, to see what's making headlines. The American people need to come together with a song, and he created a belter. Now that's what you got to do as an artist.
What about The Weeknd?
What about
Weeknd was homeless too.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
That's now the biggest artist.
Yeah,
in the
dude, he's
world.
not homeless right now.
He's home. Yeah, got a couple of them. But yeah, man. Speaking of storytellers, I think we have to start.
We have to
getting
start.
ready.
Yeah, we got to get ready.
Yeah. So
LoudSpoken, we're going to be coming at you as frequently as possible.
Yeah,
we're not
but-
going to define a set time
yeah.
because we are entrepreneurs with busy lives,
And
different
stoners.
events.
Just entrepreneurs,
Yeah, stoners. But that's not an excuse for us to miss something.
No.
But we do have other businesses that require a certain amount of our time.
Exactly.
But if you subscribe to us,
Yeah. And
then
share as well.
share it with your friends, your family. It's just a little bit of insight of two different South Africans living in South Africa talking about shit.
Yeah. And tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, topics.
You can even ask for advice. We'll tell you the truth.
Yeah. Might not be the best advice, but we're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Shout out.
All right. Peace out. Let's do this.